G'day everyone, welcome back to Pete's Investing. Today's June 16, 2023. This is Meta, Facebook share price update. So looking at a technical analysis for Meta. Here we've got on the weekly, we've got a bullish scenario, bullish indicator. And on the daily, likewise bullish. However, be careful. It looks like we might be getting a bit of a bearish divergence building and hasn't yet started. So let's look at each of these in detail. Again, on the weekly, we look at this indicator combining the triple moving average of the price chart with the moving averages of the CCI 150, and that's they're both aligned, so it's giving us this bullish signal primarily. So we only trade in the direction of the weekly, and when in a daily align. So looking at it on the daily as well, I've got here the price chart. You can see there the bullish signal is just broken up, and it's broken up above the fractal as well. That's usually an area to go long. Let me just get rid of that little line. That's usually an area to go long when the fractal breaks out of when the candle breaks out of the fractal. Now, when the weekly and the daily align, of course. So what's happening now, though, is you'll notice down here we've got a CCI. Now, here you can see the CCI is declining from that point to that point. So let's draw a little. Let's bring it down to that level for the moment. We probably could have drawn it from there, but we'll just start it from that point anyway, just keep it simple. And if we look at the same period from that point there, again, from that point to that point, you can see the price is obviously rising. That's called a bearish divergence, and what that generally means is if this works and the price continues to decline, then we're going to see potentially a pullback on the price as well. Now we could actually probably extend that like so. Why isn't that working? There you go. So we'll keep that going at the moment. So let's see how it goes in the coming days. This could collapse any moment, so I would cautiously, well, what I normally use with these divergence, I normally look at them as a potential reversal, so I stop taking trades. So again, looking at it from this point of view, during this earlier period, it would have been okay. The CCI normally tracks with the price, so it would have been okay to trade long when the weekly and the daily align on that indicator, when the CCI and the price movement are in alignment. But as soon as the CCI breaks to the downside, in this case, I use that as an early indicator to either sell out of the share if I own it, take profits, or if you're going to short it, get ready for a shorting scenario. Let me just get rid of some of these up here as well to make it a bit easier to follow. So what I want to show you now is actually how to draw the scenario to short it. So again, let me zoom in. So what you do now is, for that divergence period only, you draw a channel. If you watch my daily updates on all the other instruments I review, this is the same strategy I use. So didn't like that. Let me try that again. These never work when I do this, when I draw these live. Hasn't done it again. All right, third time lucky. This is very... There we go. All right, we'll bring it down to the lowest candle, and we wait for this price to break to the downside. So for this to work, we need to see the CCI continue downward. We need to see the CCI to continue to the downside, and we also need to see the price break to the downside as well. As soon as it breaks that lower channel, then we aim for a target. Now in this case, you go down to the most recent Fibonacci, or the low of the price chart. So that'll be the lowest point we look at or measure from. So we draw a Fibonacci from that point up to the highest point there. So you can see there, we would draw a price target from that 23% Fibonacci level, from that point to the 38%. So that'll be your initial target. These things usually work out, probably I would say 80% of the time. Sometimes they fail. So that'll be your initial target. It could go actually lower. So this doesn't mean it's going to be a long-term reversal. It could just mean a bit of a retracement before bouncing further to the upside. The other thing to notice as well is, you notice back here we did have a previous Fibonacci which broke down. So you can see there's a bearish movement on the CCI versus a bullish movement on the price chart. We drew a channel there between that divergence range to the lowest candle. The price broke below that channel. That would have been an area to short, and you would have placed the price target. I normally pick at least the first clear Fibonacci range, so that would have been the first clear Fibonacci range. That would have been your price target as initial price target, and the secondary price target would have been likewise on the second Fibonacci level, down to that second level, which is the 50% to the 61%. Now in this case, the price continued right down and met the previous lows in that range. You can see there. In fact, it's fallen further than that previous range. So, but I drew the Fibonacci from that low there to that high. Now in this case, it went right down and it bottomed out to this support level at 88.80. And since then it's been rising. So again, just if you own Meta, it's probably a good idea to, if you're gaining good profits so far, good returns, it's probably a good idea to think about possibly selling. That's my strategy for using these divergence. Again, these work most of the time. Sometimes they don't work. For this to fail, just so you understand the logic, for this to fail, we need to see that the CCI break up, and likewise we would see the price chart to make further highs. And for this is the key thing, for the CCI to break higher. If that does that and the price continues up, then this divergence has failed. So hopefully that's been of help. Let me know if you want any particular stocks or instruments reviewed in particular. Subscribe to my Patreon page where we look at specifically doing scans every week on stocks, currencies and commodities to find any particular stocks that are actually bullish. At the moment, there's a lot of stocks that are actually very bearish and doing something similar to this, and we're looking at even the US market and other general markets like the DAX and the FTSE showing similar signs of a potential downturn. So to understand how to trade this and other trading strategies, subscribe to my Patreon page. So share the channel, like the channel, and we'll see you in a future video.